Right. Right. Good. Alltså, ja. Mm. Right. Explosion. Mm. Person. Just so something. Take it for water. The fuck out. The fuck out. Where's the pearl? What? Mm-hmm. Put perspective,